Dear students, very good evening. Today we are going to solve a real MRI brain case step by step. The very way every radiologist postgraduate should think, we will learn that. By the end of the video, you will not just learn the diagnosis, you will know how and why it is a diagnosis. Let's start thinking like a radiologist, not just like a guesser. First rule for you all, never jump to a diagnosis, always ask the basic question. We are able to see multiple lesions that are present in this case. First question, whether these are intra-axial lesion or extra-axial lesion. These lesions are located within the brain parenchyma and surrounded by the brain tissues and edema. So obviously these lesions are intra-axial lesions. Now our second question is, what are the number of the lesions? We see one large lesions in the right parietal region, high parietal region, and there are multiple lesions in the left temporo-parietal region, with the largest lesion being this one, being the largest lesion. So this is a multifocal intra-axial lesion, isn't it? Now most importantly, look carefully. These lesions are predominantly at the cortical subcortical region or gray-white matter junction. This is a classic location where metastasis lodges due to vessel caliber changes. Now look at the edema pattern. There is extensive edema, vasogenic. Why vasogenic? Look at this FLAIR sequence, then you will understand why am I calling it a vasogenic edema. There are extensive vasogenic edema disproportionately larger than the lesion itself, causing mass effect and sulcal effacement. This again favors an aggressive space occupying lesion, isn't it? Now let's start going by the sequence. However, lesions is seen in various sequence. This one is T1 weighted images. So in this lesion we are able to see peripheral T1 hyperintensity. So whenever you do have a T1 hyperintensity in a lesion, you always think of blood, protein, melanin or fat content. In this case, blood becomes more important. Let's see how the lesions appears in T2 and FLAIR. On T2 and FLAIR, there is hyperintense vasogenic edema with a heterogeneous central core, lesion core. Let's see how the lesion appears in post-contrast sequence. So this is the post-contrast sequence. After contrast, we are able to see heterogeneous enhancement, isn't it? Now let's come to the diffusion weighted sequence. You see, this is our apparent diffusion images. And this is our diffusion weighted images. So what we are able to see over here, there is no central diffusion restriction. What does it means? It is not an abscess. Now let us see about the GRE and susceptibility weighted images. That is very, very important. So this is our GRE sequence. In GRE, we are able to see blooming over here. Now such blooming can even happen during calcification. How do we differentiate whether it is calcification or it is a bleed? We'll go to our next sequence. This sequence is very, very important, chaps. Remember, the bleed will always appear hyperintense. See, it is hyperintense over here. It is hyperintense over here. It is hyperintense over here. This is how do we differentiate bleed from calcification in GRE and susceptibility weighted sequences. Blooming always means there are blood products or calcification. So here it is strongly a hemorrhage. So what becomes our differential diagnosis? Let us put them all together. We had multiple lesions in the gray white matter junction. With edema, with enhancement and with hemorrhage. So what should be your first differential diagnosis? Definitely, of course, metastasis. Why it is not abscess? Because there is no diffusion restriction. Why it is not granulomatous lesion like tuberculoma? Tuberculoma is possible, but hemorrhagic nature and favors metastasis more over tuberculoma. So this is not an assumption. We have to go for evidence-based diagnostic imaging. What is our final conclusion? There are multiple intra-axial hemorrhagic metastatic deposits involving bilateral cerebral hemisphere, predominantly in the right parietal and left temporo-parietal region, with significant vasogenic edema and mass effect. As because it is a known case of primary lung carcinoma, hemorrhagic metastasis is our first differential diagnosis. I hope you will all remember this case for pretty long and took a take-home message from here. How to evaluate a case of MRI, seeing all brain sequences very properly without jumping onto the case at once.